Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome tonight. Sim, thank you so much for the support. Hope you are good. I mean, it's been rumor going around, and I am going to use allegedly, right? I am sure some of you may have heard about Erica Kirk having something to do with a ministry in Rome, right? That ended up, I mean, I think they banned her from Romanian because her ministry, kids were missing, allegedly, right? And it's all over X. And then some people brought it to TikTok. One thing I know for sure is that the fact that this young lady is also connected to the head of the country, right? And also, it's been stories spreading around about children too. And also, this Epstein's file that has refused to surface. I mean, and as you can see, nobody is still talking about the file anymore because they decided to flood the internet with this man's death and also making it very political. You can see that, right? So for a while, we've not been hearing anything about Epstein's file, but I am still going to ask, where is that file? We need to see it. So that young lady is linked to children missing, allegedly. And people are trying to find out the truth, but we definitely will know if it's true or not. Let's get into this video.
Yeah, so Republicans in Israel might have shot themselves in the foot with this Charlie Kirk thing, because Erica Kirk's story is coming out and the Republicans are freaking out over it. So if you don't know what's going on, Charlie Kirk's wife won Miss Arizona, a beauty pageant, when she was, I think, 17. She had never contested before. Someone just told her, hey, you could be a beauty pageant. And guess what company she worked for? Guess who she worked for as in the beauty pageant? Donald Trump. Right after she won the beauty pageant, she ended up creating a Christian ministry that works with children and went to go work with the Romanian government. So now you have all these conservatives on TikTok and on Twitter asking, what kind of power does a 17-year-old have to create a Christian ministry to go work with the Romanian government to go for orphans? Now, here's a funny thing. At the same time that her ministry was in Romania working with the Romanian government, Romania went through a massive case of children missing. So the Romanian government kicked her, like her Christian organization that was in Romania to help Christian babies. The Romanian government told her to get the fuck out the country because something just doesn't add up. Because her ministry is linked with too many children going missing. So now, I swear, go on TikTok, go on Twitter right now, search Erica Kirk. That's all you'll see. Everyone is talking about how the fuck she was 17. She won a beauty pageant under Trump's agency. And then right after she won the beauty pageant, she went to Romania, started working with children. Children started going missing, and the Romanian government kicked her out.
It's probably too soon, but fucking, I'm in that type of mood. Erica Kirk's taking over Turning Point. That's great. You know, Erica Kirk has her own ministry. Her first ministry she started in 2006 when she was 17 years old. In 2011, her ministry was in Romania, working with the U.S. government. Yeah. Her ministry was asked to leave Romania. Should really research why. Let me help you out, though, when you're trying to connect the dots from Erica to Donald to Jeffrey, all before Charlie. It's not a joke, boys and girls. These people all run in the same circle.
So apparently, Erica Kirk, since taking over as CEO of Turning Point USA, her past has really come under scrutiny because she used to do some charitable work for some for some organizations that she founded that led her to doing some ministry work over in Romania. At the same time, reports out there saying that the mission that she sent over there was forced out of Romania because places where her ministry was going, children were disappearing and winding up in places like Israel or overseas. They were being trafficked. So this is all unsubstantiated at this point, but these are causes for concern, and these are investigations that need to be completed but not getting a lot of media coverage. All we're seeing is her snuggling up to Dumpty there. And, Charlie wanted those Epstein files released. Maybe his wife didn't. Anyway, share your thoughts below and follow me for more.
Good evening, y'all. So, I've had a little bit of a busy day, a busy news day, if you will. So, a lot of folks been posting about Mrs. Deceased, right? And the fact that how it was more like a rally, rally, you know what I'm saying? And, the fireworks and the speech and all of that. A lot of people have been talking about how weird that all is, right? I could agree that that's weird. But in just going down and researching and reading, did y'all know that she was involved in an investigation in human trafficking in Romania? Now, I didn't know the lady. I had never heard of the lady prior to the deceased. I didn't know who she was. So, she was Miss something, Miss Arizona, maybe in 2012, which, by the way, all these 6 degrees of separation to syphilitic Sid. So she was Miss Arizona in 2012 when he still owned the pageant. And after that, she started a charity called Romanian Angels, where she went over there and was allegedly helping the children. And then the children started missing. The children started going missing. And then she was investigated for participating in some type of human trafficking. What? So there's that. Then somebody done put a statue of syphilitic Sid and Jeff out on the lawn over there. What? And they done put okay. And last thing, did y'all hear that 5 of Ketamine Kevin's siblings done come out and accused his daddy of sexual abuse? Today was too much. It was too much. It was absolutely too much. And now I'm going to go bleach my brain. 'Cause today has just been filled with sex trafficking, sex abuse, PDF files. It's too much. And last but not least, syphilitic Sid sits at the center of all of it. Okay. I'm about to go bleach my brain, cleanse. I might have to go get some sage, get all this negativity. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay, bye.
Erica Kirk, Serena Joy herself. I have opinions on her. I'm not going to share them about the way that she grieved or anything else. But this Romanian ministry story, I saw a video about it a couple days ago that has now blown up. I went looking because I was like, holy crap, if this is true, there will be proof. If there will be legal documents, there will be whatever. I could not find anything like that. So originally I was going to come on and make a video and say, hey, you guys, there's a lot wrong with that stuff. We don't need to be making shit up and spreading rumors about things that have not been substantiated. That's not to say that there isn't a link or anything like that, but I'm seeing claims over and over again that there was a spike in trafficking cases there in Romania. I have not seen any proof of that. Again, it's rumors. However, even without that, and this is just so perfect, even without that, people on the right are taking it and running with it. This is what I have been saying all along that they need to do. They need to turn their conspiratorial minds inwards and look at what is happening with the e-files and Trump and all of this kind of stuff. And of course, it actually makes sense because now it's a woman involved that they're like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. And so now, because it's a woman, they are being very suspicious and skeptical and conspiratorial about that, which is also the same reason that Ghislaine Maxwell is the only person who has had any kind of accountability for her crimes for that. So I was going to say, and I still think people on the left, have facts, have cold hard facts. But if the right is going to run with this and like start to implode inwardly, I'm all about that action, boss.
So I made a video earlier today about Erica Kirk, and not believing these rumors about her ministry in Romania being connected to moving kids along. Because to me, Timerson, as Tall Girl likes to say, does not like that word. That's not to say that it isn't possible. However, some of the comments I'm going to say, you guys, are getting a little QAnon-y. Now, in case you didn't know this about me, my background, my degree is in journalism. And so that's why when I hear stories that sound a bit extreme and outlandish, I'm like, okay, if this is for real, a real reporter, a real journalist would have dug something up on this. This would have been big news in Romania. If an American ministry, church, religious related nonprofit organization was being investigated, convicted, kicked out of the country for moving kids along. That would have been big news. Not only would there have been news stories, but there would have been official statements, etc., from the government. And for everybody who's saying they scrubbed that to me is giving COVID vaccine. Like as I'm pro-vax right here, pro-science, when everybody was like, this is all just made up. And it's like, well, they made it up all over the world. From all of these other countries and all of these other organizations and scientists, they're all got the same memo to make up these same things and have these same like huge amounts of people die. Like it's all made up all over the world. That's what this is giving. It is not as easy as like they just scrubbed the internet. They pushed a button and it's scrubbed. It doesn't work like that. It's not to say that it isn't possible, because absolutely there are connections that we should be focusing on between the pageants and the e-files and Jeff the man. Absolutely. I mean, the victims themselves have said that they were promised modeling careers which are connected with these pageants if they became employed by Jeff from Florida. So there is absolutely a connection. However, connecting this specific ministry that was started by 17-year-old Erica Kirk to moving kids along, there's just no credible sources. Now, I'm a little torn on this because I won't be spreading or focusing on that one because I'm a tired old bitch and I just don't have the energy to focus on things that there isn't proof for. But there is power in spreading rumors, and we know this from the right, which is why it brought me so much glee to find out the right was actually the ones that were running with this. If you go over on X or Twitter, I'm not on there. But that's what a lot of them are talking about right now. So I'm super duper happy to see them turn on themselves for this, because they don't need facts. We know this. However, rumors are powerful. Disinformation and misinformation, like these are the kinds of stories that Russian bot factories push through the interwebs that get picked up. They create fake newspapers and push these stories out, and then people can say, see, there's a new news article right here, and there was another one and another one. And that's some of the Russian interference that we're talking about from the first couple elections. So that's not to say that I won't be doing it, but that's not to say that other people might not want to push it. I don't know.
If you've heard the rumors that Erica trafficked children in Romania, here's the lowdown. Harvest Christian Fellowship. There was a former pastor accused of SA and trafficking. Lawsuits have alleged forced labor and negligence. I don't know how you pronounce this name, but this was a gang that was forcing Roma children to beg for money in London. Ringleaders were arrested after police uncovered this ring. Having said all of that, none of those were Erica's nonprofit. There is no direct evidence linking Erica to child trafficking in Romania. There's also no direct evidence of the reason that her nonprofit closed, and there's very little record of what their nonprofit did. There's an article in Arizona Foothills from 2024 that discussed the organization running a children's wish list in Romania for Christmas. To be clear, I am not saying that she did, and I am not saying that she didn't. This is just a summary of the information available for information purposes only. As I was researching this topic, I came across this article. In it, there's a discussion about the Stalinist leader who ruled one of Eastern Europe's most repressive regimes. It came crashing down in 1989, along with all the other Soviet bloc nations. This leader had instituted one of the most radical and repressive policies in an effort to stimulate birth rates. This included outlawing abortions for any women under 40 who had less than 4 children. Now, this did trigger a baby boom, but many of the children who were born ultimately ended up in state-run orphanages. After the fall of communism, the West got a look at what was going on in these state-run orphanages and was shocked and appalled by the images of children living in squalid conditions. So here we have yet another regime, another example of an authoritarian leader trying to control birth rates and banning abortions without an understanding of what that does and what that means. And again, women and children suffered. Banning abortions is not what people think. If we want to reduce the number of abortions performed, there are clear and well-documented steps that we can take to ensure that there are as few abortions performed as possible. Bans are not the way to do it.
Oh god, so I wasn't going to make a video about this because I know none of y'all are going to like what I have to say, and everybody is incapable of understanding that there's nuance to these damn situations. It can't, if you don't get, anyway, here are the actual facts behind this whole Romanian angels thing, all right? I don't know why people are, actually I do know why, and it's for views. You know how they say that when the truth is still putting on her shoes to go out the door, a lie has already made its way halfway around the world and it's impossible to get it, like, reined back in? This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. So Romanian Angels was a program that Erica Kirk's nonprofit, which was called Everyday Heroes Like You, ran in Constanta in Romania. We know this because even though there's not really any online records of this program existing, there is still an article on Arizona Foothills from last year that ran a that records that this organization had like a Christmas wish list running for kids in Romania. Now, mind you, this was all back in 2011, right? Now, you would think that if all this shit about kids going missing was still like a thing in Romania, that you would be able to find modern Romanian articles talking about this. But I found a modern... Girl, come on now. I found a modern Romanian article on ziarulamprenta.romania that was talking about Erica Kirk and mentions... Oh, the Lord almighty, this damn cat. Will you get... mentions the fact that she was running this nonprofit back in 2011 and has pictures of her with some of these kids. These are the pictures. I've translated this out of Romanian to English, of course, but it doesn't talk about any kids going missing. And again, this is a Romanian website. All I can see is that she was acting as kind of a go-between one year between Christmas gifts. Like she was going over to Mihail, I don't know how to pronounce this, Mihail Kogalniceanu base, where American soldiers were stationed, and she would probably bring them Christmas gifts for these orphans. They were doing this through the United Hands Romania Association and the Black Sea Rotational Force and the General Directorate of Social Assistance and Child Protection in Constanta County. Now, I did find an article from Al Jazeera talking about how Tanduray was a center for adoption trafficking, by which I mean people were on trial accused of sending children to the United Kingdom, like on trial accused of training children to become criminals and then sending them to Britain to do crime. This is a racially, this is kind of like a racially charged thing because Tanduray is also called Beverly Hill for Roma gangsters, except they use the G slur and not Roma. There are a lot of ethnic Roma people living there, and some of them have family members or have second homes in the United Kingdom, and then it's alleged that they are committing welfare fraud and using the money to build like these really nice houses in Tanduray. And during COVID, the town was also in the spotlight because the ethnic Roma in the town were accused of bringing COVID from Western Europe and not respecting anti-COVID measurements implemented by the government. I think what people are doing is that they are seeing that Tanduray had a big adoption trafficking scandal, and they are also seeing that an orphanage that Erica Kirk once gave Christmas presents to and kind of worked for through her nonprofit that she created also exists in Tanduray, and then they just drew conclusions from that. Now, there is a conversation to be had about American international adoption and how absolutely shitty it is. It's so shitty, in fact, that Russia actually stopped allowing Americans to adopt from Russia because of the way that just normal people, everyday people, were treating and trafficking their kids. Like, adoption trafficking doesn't have to be like some secret cabal of people. It could literally just be like Marsha from Iowa who gets sick and tired of her adopted kid from Russia because he has like reactive attachment disorder and just goes on Facebook and says, somebody take this kid off my hands, and then somebody does. Reuters did a whole expose on this, by the way. And it is also incredibly important to remember that like the vast majority of child trafficking that takes place in America is done by parents or by family members of those children. Now, I did see some chatter on here about there's somehow being some kind of link to Israel, or these orphans were being like shuttled off to Israel or something like that, right? So I went and I looked that up, and I found one article about Romanian and Israeli authorities jointly investigating 2 Israeli adoption agencies that were suspected of forging documents for adoptions of Romanian children. No reliable source directly connected this to any later confirmed organ trafficking rings that were involving Israeli nationals, completely unrelated. And that was in December of 2001, when Erica Kirk was 13 years old. Pro tip, if someone online is like, no, this information totally exists, but if you look for it, it'll be mysteriously gone, that does not make them credible. I also found a Christian Post article talking about a Harvest Christian Fellowship pastor named Paul Havsgaard, who was abusing Romanian orphans in Bucharest. But, and these 3 men are suing, but again, there's no connection here with Romanian Angels or with Erica Kirk, because this was Harvest Homes, not Romanian Angels. Like, there are multiple Christian organizations that run orphanages or fund orphanages overseas, and yes, a lot of them are abusing these kids. But it is really, really important to get your facts straight and to critically look at everything you see online, even if it's coming from somebody who looks like you want to agree with. Please stop believing clickbait. You can criticize Erica Kirk till dogs come home first.
This is all I got from this video. You know, one thing I know, no matter how it might take time, but the truth is absolutely going to come out. And I remember that I said this thing some days ago, that there is something that we do not know. But eventually, all this will come out, and some are popping up. Let me tell you something. In every rumor, sometimes, there is an atom of truth. You might not be able to see the truth now, but eventually it will come out. I am sure you all know that she's been kind of connected to the head of the government, right? And from there, we also found out about the pageant she did when she was 17. And then also finding out how the husband started Turning Point and all that. It's all kind of intertwined. And you know what? If you go to X, all you will be seeing all this. I mean, the tweets and the rest of it. But some people are still trying to defend her. I am not defending anybody or saying she did or she did not. But time will tell. You and I will get to know, because a whole lot has happened. And before you know what it's going on, they start coming out one after the other. And then, I think everything is coming out all in time. And I heard that she also knows Epstein, right? And there has been rumors going around about some homeless people being, yes, there was a video that I saw about a man screaming it, saying that some of his friends or something. I think he also ran away from like all these care home. I don't know if it is care home or something, like all these homeless kind of place, and like, you know, when you're able to get a house when you're homeless and all of that, shelter, right? And a man ran out of it, say what his eyes saw, that he cannot say it. He ran. So in the comment section, I was seeing comments somewhere like, some certain things we saw in that in that shelter, that our mouth cannot speak it to this very moment, because if you say it, you might end up not living for the rest of your life. And that reminds me that a whole lot is happening, just that some people choose not to speak on it. So we definitely will find out if some kids, because you all know the other man, Epstein, and the people on the list, right? What they were all accused of, and what they all have in common with children too. So for me, I am dotting, and I am kind of crossing the dots and other, trying to know how to match the whole thing. But for me, it's making a whole lot of sense if you understand what has been going on. But I will chill, and I will continue to make my research. Definitely, you and I will get to hear it in the end. And sincerely speaking, you know why they have not been talking about this Epstein file? You and I know, but hopefully one day we'll get to see the Epstein file and the name of the people that are there. So we get to know who is who. Because at this point in time, I do not trust anyone. I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.